What up, random rockers? Schmoedown, MTS fans, and Schmoevillians, and whoever else, and most especially with this past week, Action Army, my fellow Action Army friends, or at least any friends I have made with Action Army, whether it be Danny Cost, or who pretty well welcomed me with open arms the moment I decided to sign up and make myself official after Dan Merle's defeat. Unfortunate, but he's already proven he's found a way through the Founding Fathers, though eventually we'll see how that goes when they face corruption, which was probably going to happen. Or at least fingers crossed, I hope that happens. If not, that's kind of gonna hurt that storyline big time. But we'll see, because I don't know what happened. I didn't see it on the Patreon. I know it's probably gonna come out tomorrow for sure, or actually no, maybe it's coming out Friday as like an undercard for some reason. Yeesh. I don't know what that's about. I don't know if that's exactly what KO was trying to do, or if that's just how things just worked out anyway. I don't know. But that's not what we're talking about, because let's face it, Action Army, for the most part, it's mostly you. So, Action Army, rejoice. We have a week to ourselves, even though it didn't entirely go our way. But I can't say much for, certain smaller sympathetic reasons. I mean, headwear specifics. But it's not that I didn't root for you. It's not that I didn't root for you to win, guy. But I just had this feeling, the moment you two were going to face off, that somehow, some way, through some storyline bullshit or something, or through the obvious fact that, Roka wasn't going to have whatever the fuck you were selling, guy. I figured if he wasn't going to put up with Ben, chances were he would have found a way to not put up with your bullshit and just be focused and be a very hungry Roka. Clearly he was far hungrier than you, and clearly I'm just glad it didn't faze you all that much. It's just a shame you're not bothering to find a way to, make a comeback this year through the tournament, singles tourney. That kind of bothers me a little bit. I don't know what bothered me more, that or what happened with the whole thing to there, but I'm not dissing Action Army at all. In fact, which is why we have good news later when we talk about it, but which is why, let's face it, the things we've been having leading up to this #1 contendership was a huge thing, and the match wasn't super disappointing at all. They kind of did. Disappointing more on Guy's end as opposed to Roka's end, I guess. At least Roka tried to give us something. At least he did better than his match with Bateman. I'll give him that, but at some point I didn't think the Horseman thing was going to fully fall through or anything. It's just the fact of them fully getting the titles and actually, fulfilling their goals. Because I'm not sure that's happening yet. But overall, I think the whole thing with... it sucks that, Roka pretty well beat Team Action on his own. He's got that to hold on to. But it's not like he doesn't... And if he can find a way... And he probably is going to have even more to prove if he has to wind up facing Riley or Merle again, which is going to suck if that is the case. And he doesn't have to prove much to me. You still got... Fuck, him and Bateman are both, Facebook friends, even though we barely really talk, so that's not really saying much, but at least it's kind of better than what I've been getting out of Kalinowski. Your move. Your move, killer. Your move. We'll see what happens with that anyway, but as far as this, once again, I'm just whatever with this, but as far as I'm concerned, Guy may not have been his best performance. It sucks. Kind of made me sad when Haleen, or one of our main guys on the Action Army page, main gals I should say actually, did a whisper reaction thing, and it was kind of made me sad. Might have made Guy sad, but far more on the sad side than anything. But which was also weird. Which was slightly weird that these kind of specs is what I wound up seeing out of Guy in his post-match interview. In fact, this was the classiest he's ever been, aside from the Nerds Watch. And that's what kind of got other people into it, though. It kind of threw me off, really. In fact, them doing that might have threw off their normal game. And probably part of the reason why Nerds Watch wound up winning it anyway. In that match, I guess. I don't know. But I wouldn't have. But Action, just one of these days, if it isn't this year, hopefully next year, mark my words, Action Army, you will find a way to finally get those belts. Whether it has to be as Team Action or not. I mean, or at least singles title, you're still hopefully up there. I just wish Guy would take the opportunity to keep himself up there, because now it's going to be a harder climb for you, man. I wish it weren't the case, but oh well. It may be good to just stop here, but I'm not sure your decision to do that for your singles career is the best decision at the moment. But yeah, it was nice to see you a little on the classier side a little bit, and we know and all of us in Action Army, we know you're a good dude. You didn't, and now the world thanks to this, the world kind of already knows that's part of it. We don't know if the way things have been going lately, if somehow as Action, do we have to have a face watch now with Action Army, through Action Army or something? I don't know. They're kind of better heels, but I don't know. Yeah, my voice is shot, so sorry if I sound like I'm a wee little girl and shit, or sound like I'm an old man. I don't feel like an old man. I'm technically the same age as our boys in Action Army, but on the bright side, enough with the depressing stuff of what happened with Andrew Guy. He had Christopher Nolan, but anyway, you know what? Roca got Westerns, which was actually a well-noted strength for the guy. Though I will tell you, Westerns isn't entirely my strength, to be honest. You have more luck with a space Western, possibly. But even that ain't saying much. I don't know. But anyway, I will tell you this. I will say this, though. At least Benjamin Bateman, and at least through Ben's loss against Roca, and even the loss that Yodi himself had to that Riley had against Guy, at least they were able to get along with each other, even though I thought it was supposed to be Bobby Gucci that was managing them and not Finstock. But for some reason it's Finstock instead. I figured at least he would be more on our side with Bateman at least than Riley, but eventually it seems like even the opening where we see who's the boss, even though I still feel betrayed that they did not go with Shades of Steel. I still think it's a freaking better name. But that's about the only complaint I've got, because for the most part they didn't. That has been thus far, in terms of this Anarchy tournament, the best match we've gotten. Because despite screw-ups on the boss's side, it was at least impressive enough. It's a shame. It would have just tied them. They could have gained more points, which was a missed opportunity. And I understand Riley beating himself up a little bit, but at least, and at least he's willing to admit that he fucked up. And he's not being stubborn against, the people that would bitch at him for fucking up anyway. But at least he admits that he had a good partner and we were able to win in Bateman. So, that's fine. Action Army. Let bygones be bygones with Horsemen. If this is what's going to lead to Action Army getting the belts, getting a taste of that belt, if not, it's an interesting heel meets something's going to give on one side or the other with this thing. We don't know for sure at this point. I do hope, but I like the way the dynamic currently is between the two of them, between Bateman and Riley right now, and the Zipper and Haley, whatever. I mean, that was good. That was actually a good team up, and they were technically the better parts of their separate teams that they were in. So they worked for a new team of rookies. They actually weren't too bad. It's just they had to short end a straw and having to wind up having their first round be against a team of bigger named veterans who have and even with a manager who's a veteran and well noted for having somewhat been involved in, kind of sort of whether under whichever name. Whether it be Finstock or Bobby Gucci, it's still, as far as I'm concerned, regardless of what anyone else is going to say, Tom Dagnino. And whether he's just considering himself as Finstock or Bobby Gucci, he has managed a once considered undefeated champion team. Or at least was for a while until Above the Line finally did them in twice in a row. It had to be done. And that had to be done, and it's a shame that Above the Line, that whole thing with that, is all we'll ever know much of with Above the Line, because they defended their belts. It's just also a shame more for Drew McWeeny on that regard, but it's hopefully things work out for them him and Brian Chandler, which is a good team, which is a nice enough team up as it is, and hopefully they can work together. At least enough to get to round 2, but I'm still hoping for... I'll probably wind up rooting for them if somehow Wildberries don't pull out what I hope will be the upset, because as far as I'm concerned, I love the Action Army, but I love my Wildberries more. Hashtag Thornbush. And... hashtag Wildberries. Hashtag... Josh McCuga for Jeopardy if it means no wild berries. It depressed me, but at least somebody has to fulfill their dream, since I haven't been able to with my music dream. I'd just be happy that some other hairy motherfucker besides me. So, anyway. But anyhow, I'm glad, despite that last question, they did wind up with new releases, and it turned out, I kind of already knew the moment the Riley roundtable between him and Bateman proved that those two, at least as a team, which is what mattered more, was going to work. I was just hoping that the Finstock thing managing wouldn't fuck that up. And luckily, things worked out. Like I said, and things seem to be coming across a little bit better, I guess, in the matchup. At least in terms of the way they're showing themselves off, but it's pretty clear that they both want the belts. If they have to. Even if they have to wind up going eventually through Founding Fathers. If they get past Corruption. If not, oh well, at least we got a good round 2 between Corruption and Founding Fathers. That we've all been wanting to see, which I'm hoping is going to happen. Fingers crossed. Don't spoil anything, Patreon people, if you've seen that match. Also, depending on how things go with me, hopefully I get a chance to see the Harloff-Ellis match. Fingers crossed with that. So within the next 2 weeks after it aired Saturday. But other than that, Action Army, we at least have getting that close to belts. I mean, one step closer. Got a few other steps. But even though I'm kind of making for Wildberries upset, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Ben, if you feel like I'm letting you down in that regard, but I just feel like somehow Wildberries will be an upset that just nobody will see coming. That much. I'm still banking on them winning this tournament. Even though I didn't get a chance to do my bracket, I knew my bracket wouldn't have been the best, but that's the one thing I'm hoping for. Even though I totally get if people pick Evil Geniuses because of that team up being smarter, and I could see it happening, but I really do hope that somehow the Makuga magic comes to play, and whatever streak they've been on lately just keeps going, and that hopefully Hayberg doesn't ruin that. Hell, at this point, they still probably won't care as long as they still sell those t-shirts. And all right, I can live with that. Hell, if him going to Jeopardy means more Wildberry t-shirts getting sold, even if Wildberries aren't around no more, fine by me if that helps too. Whatever gets it out there. Wildberries! But anyway. Sorry. It's supposed to be mostly Action Army, but, you know. It's not, my inner Wildberry just has to come out. Some Thornbush Wildberry thing had to come out. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Action Army. Don't hate. We all know that if Action Army wanted to, they'd party it up with them too. It'd be a fun match just to see Action Army. It'd be fun. It'd break my heart, but it'd be fun still to see. As long as it's still a good, fun match. I wouldn't mind seeing Wildberries versus Action Army. Would it be more in Wildberry's corner just for shits and giggles, I guess? Even though Action Army probably could tear them apart, if we're being honest. But I don't care as long as it's a fun at that point. I wouldn't care as long as it's a fun match. If Action Army wins and it's a fun match and Wildberries still wind up selling t-shirts and people still want to see them like I just still do, that's fine. It's a win-win on my end. Hopefully, and hell, there are Action Army people that in the main page, I think that are fans of Wildberries. I just hope they just understand my feeling of being torn when that happens. Don't know when that'll be, but, you know. Oh, well. Until this corruption thing is over, we'll see. I'm just glad corruption didn't ruin Wildberries for us. That was the one thing that made me smile and made my day. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed in terms of this past week's matches. What did y'all think of it? Leave a comment. You comment below, let me know. As always, guys, keep it random, keep it real, keep it rocking. If you smell, yeah, I shouldn't even try to do that. I'm sorry. I'm sick and nasally, and I just can't do it as well as I did before. I'm sorry. But I'm gonna finish it. I already did that part. Let's finish it off. If you smell what the movie trivia Schmoedown is cooking.